could be at home if things go. So win, lose, or draw the rest of the way out. The Vikings, Coach Troth and his staff has had a great year.
All right, we had a chance to visit with the coaches.
Chad Lance joins us before this ball game. And, Coach, you take on Hannibal LaGrange, a team that's lost a couple of ball games, but your team lost the season opener at Hastings College. That was a good ball club, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely a really good ball club, experienced group. Those kids have been playing with each other ever since they were freshmen. Most of them are juniors right now. So we knew they was going to be experienced, and, we have some inexperience out there, and it showed, but hopefully through some film and a little spirited practice, hopefully we're ready to go tonight.
What did you see positive, and who played well for you the other night?
Well, that was the disheartening thing, is that we did have a whole lot of highlights, and in our scrimmages, and we had been doing some good things, and I think that we were a little paralyzed when the lights came on. So what I do know is some guys who can play. I know that Michael Connor is definitely better than what he had showed, and I know we have some other guards that can do some things. So I'm looking forward to tonight's game.
How about this Hannibal ball club? As I said, they're 0-2. Do you know much about them?
Yeah, I've known Coach Durst for a long time. They're going to run a lot of the Princeton stuff. They're going to keep everybody mostly lifted above the free throw line, and they do a great job running their stuff. They're very disciplined. He has added some athletes on the team, but Muel is their go-to guy, and his last two games he's averaging 21.5 points a game. So he's the guy we definitely got to stop tonight.
So what are the keys going to be tonight then?
Well, for us, offensively, is we just got to get the ball top side. I thought we really kept the ball on one side, and it stuck in some guys' hands. So we got to share the basketball tonight, and then you got to defend, you got to rebound, and for us it's not being overzealous on defense. We got a little out of character against Hastings, and they made us pay. So just sit down and guard our guy.
All right, Coach. Talk to you after the game.
Appreciate it.
Okay, chatting now with Hannibal LaGrange head coach Jason Durst. And Coach, a couple of games last week. I guess you fall to St. Ambrose 70-63, and then you lose one to Culver Stockton 78-71. Sounds like a couple of good games.
Yeah, definitely. I was pretty pleased with our overall effort, and we just got to find a way to be more consistent. And in both those games, we competed for about 20 minutes at a pretty high level. We just got to find a way to expand on that a little bit and put together a full game. I think we put ourselves in a position to compete and win on any given night.
Talk about your team this year, Coach. Have you got a lot of veterans coming back, or a young team? What's the makeup of your ball club?
Well, we're kind of a blend. We're about half and half. We have 6 returners, and we have 6 newcomers. So we're kind of a nice blend there. A lot of our newcomers are freshmen, not transfers. So it's kind of a learning process right now. So we're relying heavily on our returners that carry us. And number 5, Abraham Areño-Cono is doing a good job for us around the basket. And then R.A. Muel, he's our perimeter threat. Those guys have been carrying us in terms of statistics, but also we're going to rely on them for leadership as well.
You play Missouri Valley tonight on the road. What will you try to do to the Vikings tonight?
Well, our main objective is going to try to stick to what we're good at. And we know that Missouri Valley is going to come at us with a lot of aggressive dribble with the guards, and the guards are good. They're going to throw it inside a little bit, but we're just going to come out and be consistent with our offensive effort, and our defensive end just make it tough for them. And our whole philosophy is to play percentages. We want to work for a high percentage shot on offense and make it tough on the other team on the defensive end.
All right, so you've heard from the coaches. Vikings coming out and sporting some new home uniforms this year, as Michael Connor introduced to this crowd, the 6'1 senior. Jordan Epps, a 5'10 freshman. Also, David Smith, a 5'11 senior. Epps, I've heard a lot about him, Joe. Very good point guard out of Nixa, Missouri. So he's getting a start tonight. Also in that starting lineup is James Pope, the 6'4 senior, and Nick Diata, 6'8 junior. So Connor and Pope both had 11 points in the season opener.
Well, and Ken, you talk about some of the players on the Viking ball club. You've got that Southwest Missouri connection. You've got Brody Thompson, also Kevin Standard from Republic, and then you mentioned the other from Springfield, Jordan Epps. And I'm seeing if there's somebody else. I think that's it. But you've got those 3 guys from that Southwest Missouri area. That's a hotbed of basketball. So, yeah, it should be an interesting team. I think we'll have a lot of fun watching this bunch this year.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt about that, as this is, again, non-conference. We start the conference season in a couple of weeks. But tonight it's Hannibal LaGrange and Valley. Glad you can be with us. We'll start the women's part of our broadcast schedule next Tuesday night. But tonight it's the men. And glad you can be with us on Stretch internet and also on livestream.com for basketball tonight. What do you think about the new unis, the white and purple?
I like those. Those look nice. They're not flashy. They're just good looking. I like the purple trim, the white. The numbers stick out well. We can read the numbers.
Hey, thank you. We can read the numbers. We like that. All right, Vikings in the white with the purple, and in the red are the Trojans. Trojans control the tip. So they've got the basketball as they bring it in against a man-to-man. Here is Muel, a driving baseline, turn to the left hand. It won't go. Ball is knocked out of bounds, and it is going to be Viking ball.
Well, they go right to Well the first time down the floor. I guess he's their leading scorer, so obviously he's the guy they're going to try to get the ball to if they can.
When you look at their scoring, they have three players. Muel with 21.5 a game. Arinya Kono has 14.5, and then Steinhoff with 10, and they score most of their points. Here's Connor to the free throw line. Out for a three that's on the way, and good by Jordan Epps. Good-looking shot from the 5'10 freshman.
Nice pass by Michael Connor to set up that shot by Epps, and nothing but net. Good start for the Vikes.
Great start for the Vikes as they play that man-to-man defense. Here's Steinhoff. Goes top of the key, now to Muel. Muel into the corner, driving, giving it back to Muel. Now back into the corner in front of the Viking bench is Muel. He's double-teamed, and he throws it away as he tries to fire a pass across court. Throws it out on the hash mark on the far side.
I think it was David Smith that rotated over to cut him off in that baseline and forced the bad pass. So good D by the Vikes. 2 trips down the floor for Hannibal LaGrange. Nothing to show for it. Vikes have hit a tray on their only trip.
Yeah, we know that David can play some defense. He makes things happen. Epps works the right side, bounce pass, low block to Pope. Stops, 10-footer, baseline rattles home, and the Vikings are 2 for 2, and they're off to a 5-0 start.
You know, James Pope's an athlete we think can do a lot of things for the Vikings, and he needs to assert himself on offense. Good to see him hit that first jumper.
Here come the Trojan on the top of the key. Now swing it around to the left side, back top of the key. Off it comes to Willie Bird. Bird works it down low. David Smith with the defense. Here's a shot up. It won't go. Offensive rebound. Put back up. Missed. Rebound well. Blocked by David Smith. Well gets it back. He's double teamed. Loses it. Picks it up in the corner. Smith again driving. And this time they're going to call Michael Connor for the fouls. The Vikings really working. One thing when we talked to Coach last week, after the Hastings game, he was disappointed in the rebound. He said we have to do a better job on the board. So,
well, Michael Connor just a half step slow getting to the baseline that time. That's where he picked up the foul.
Tried to get it into Arinya Kono. Back it comes to Jamal Green, the 5'11 freshman. Green off to Moel. Back to the left side. Now they work it to the low block. Give it off there to Willie Bird. Bird. Pope takes it away from him and almost runs over us at the table.
I had James Pope coming right at me that time.
Oh, man. There's a timeout taken by Hannibal LaGrange as they trail 5-0 first 2 minutes. And one thing doesn't change about Valley basketball. Win, lose, or draw, the Vikings are going to get it after defensively.
Yeah, they are, and they've looked good the first 3 trips down the floor. I think that's why Hannibal LaGrange, Jason Durst, takes that timeout. I think he feels like his team may be a little bit out of sync in the early minutes here, so wants to be sure that they know where the ball is supposed to go, get back in that rhythm.
Well, we've got a lot to talk about tonight. I tell you, the fall sports season has been tremendous. Women's soccer team playing tonight in Lamoni. Don't you wish we were in Lamoni tonight? Rather be here.
I'd love to see the women play, but I'm glad to be here.
Well, we'd have a long time to listen to election returns after the match because it's a long trip. But they're
so that's men's and women's soccer teams that both had great seasons.
We'll talk about that. The men go to Baker tomorrow night. Volleyball team had a great year. That came to an end, so it's been a great fall season. All right, we're back to action as the Vikings stay in that man-to-man defense. Willie Bird, free throw line extended right side. Back out front, it comes to Green. Green drives in, has the shot partially blocked, and then a late whistle, and I believe they're going to call Jordan Epps for his first foul, second team foul, and that will be a shooting foul. So a couple of shots coming up for Jamal Green.
Nice drive that time by Green. He's a freshman out of New Orleans. He changed hands, switched the ball from the right to the left, shot it with the left hand, and drew the foul. So nice movement to the bucket, protecting himself, and he gets the 2 shots.
Trying to get the Hannibal LaGrange ball club on the board, and he hits his first one. That's the first free throw shot this evening. Decent crowd here tonight. Second free throw is no good. And Epps picks it up. So 1 for 2. Jamal Green, it's 5-1. As Valley with the basketball. Out front to Connor. Connor looks down low. Nothing there. Pope pops out. Now to Epps. Epps out top of the circle with a left-handed dribble. Gives it off to Connor. Almost threw it between two players, but Connor able to grab it. Now he has it knocked away. Comes around a screen by Diotta. Still top of the key, 8 on the shot clock. Here comes Connor through traffic, leans in the lane, puts it off the glass too hard, but it comes right out. Three-pointer on the way. That one rims in and out for Jordan Epps, and the rebound is pulled down by Preston Steinhoff, and he's going to be fouled.
I think David Smith just picked up, that's just his first foul. We'll say that was his second, but they call he knocked the ball out of bounds a minute ago. So that's the third team foul on the Vikings here in the early going. Hannibal Grange still looking for their first foul.
Good job by Hannibal Grange on that possession. They forced a tough shot by Connor, and then the three-pointer rimmed in and out. Steinhoff, top of the key, around a screen, and another foul. This is going to be an illegal screen. Willie Bird picks it up. First foul on him, and the first foul on the Trojans.
Well, and once again, Ken, the Vikings really playing pretty good defense right now. They've given up that one free throw to Green, but that's been it. And about 5 trips down the floor, no buckets so far for Hannibal Grange. So you like to see that on the defensive end.
Top of the key, Pope fakes the three, didn't pull the trigger, gives it to Smith on the right side. Smith back out front. Now off to Epps. Epps looks in low. High post to Diotta. Diotta turns, faces the basket, gives it back out for Connor. Connor takes it right side, off to Smith. Smith, the left-hander, wheels to the elbow, gives it back out to Connor. He'll fire a three. He'll hit a three. Vikings have 3 field goals, 2 of the three-point variety, and it's 8-1.
That was a deep three that time by Michael Connor, and Michael nailed that one, and good to see him getting that touch going from the outside early on.
Now here come the Trojans. The top of the circle, swinging around to the right side for Jamal Green. The ball out of bounds, and it was last touched by one of the Vikings. So the
do you have magnets on your shoes?
I don't know.
That's about 3 times that ball's landed right at our feet.
It's going to be a long season, isn't it?
I know it. We're not that good either.
No hands. Well, use the dribble, in trouble. Goes baseline. Here's spinning inside. They give it back out to Moel. He'll try one. He fadeaway won't go. Fight for the rebound, and it is pulled down by Rinkicono. Now back to Moel, off to Steinhoff. Steinhoff open in the corner, gets by his man. He rattles one up and in, right in front of Chad Lance. That's the 2-point variety, and it is an 8-3 ball game. Now an official's timeout as the net needs to be fixed on the north end.
Good hustle that time by Hannibal Grange to keep that possession alive. Got a couple offensive rebounds, and then Steinhoff knocks down the jump shot.
So here comes Epps against Steinhoff, man-to-man. Nice ball movement by Epps. Kicks it off to Connor. Out front to Diate. Try to get back to him. Diate kicks it out to Smith. Now to Connor. Drives left side. Spins. Nobody home. Fires it all the way across right side to Epps. Epps will try the outside shot. It's too strong. David Smith couldn't pull down the rebound. And it is grabbed by Willie Bird. Here come the Trojans. Bird all the way. Leaves it right side. Top of the key to Green. Back underneath to Willie Bird. Kicks it in the corner. Steinhoff sets the feet. Fires a three. Knocks it down. He has 5. And all of a sudden it's 8-6.
Yeah, good ball movement that time. Good D by the Vikes, but Hannibal Grange flipped that ball, reversed it very quickly, found an open Steinhoff, and he drained the tray.
14:55 to go in the first half. Connor, right corner for the Vikings. Spin move. Takes it inside all the way, and he gets it. They kind of backed away, and he went baseline right side and used the backboard, and he now has 5.
Michael Connor can create off the dribble, and that's exactly what he did that time. Nice spin move, took it to the glass, nice soft touch. He's got 5.
And the young man from Hannibal, Christian Williams, 6'7", freshman, ready to check in. At the top of the circle is Moel. Well, cut off by Pope. Now a little bounce pass to Bird. Give it back, free throw line, extended right. Shot is up, no good by Green. A rebound pulled down by Pope. Off to Epps, and here come the Vikings. Epps quickly in the corner, right side. Back out front to Pope. They dump it underneath, and a foul is going to be called as they try to dish it into the low block to Nick Diotta.
And Diotta got great position that time. All Arenya Kono could do was reach around the back, or Diotta had an easy layup. So nice job moving the ball by the Vikes. Diotta, nice job posting up strong, is checking in for the Vikes. Jim Thomas, remember Jim from last year, the old lefty, comes in. David Smith will take a seat.
So the foul was on Arenya Kono, his first, second team foul. Here come the Trojans, down 10-6. Out top of the circle, it's Jamal Green. Green holds it there. Now just outside the free throw line. Steinhoff, that shot won't go. Pope with a strong rebound. Pope will leave it off for Connor.
Did James Pope go up in the crowd that time and rip that one off? A great rebound by Pope, and he's a senior out of St. Petersburg, Florida.
They go baseline again to Pope. His spin move won't go, but he's going to be fouled.
That's a Rinya Kono, I think. If that's on him, that'll be his second.
Yeah, you're right. They're going to call it on Rinya Kono. That's his second. And Pope goes to the free throw line. And hits it. That's the first point of the night for James Pope. He now has 3.
Kid, I think James Pope is athletic as anybody on this team. He's got a lot of things he can do on the court, and look for a big season. He's a senior, and look for him to step up big both on and off the court for the Vikings.
He's one of those players we're going to really need, don't you think?
I think so, too.
Be successful.
I believe
Knocks
so.
down both free throws. Good job. Christian Williams checks in. Now Law Brown comes in for the Vikings. Lawrence Brown, the 6'8 junior, saw some playing time last year. And I mentioned Christian Williams, young man out of Hannibal. They had a good season last year. One of the Hannibal Pirates now in this Viking club. Here comes Green down the middle all the way. No look. And the layup is short. Rebound by Brown. Ahead to Epps. Epps back to Brown, top of the key. Off to Connor. He's open. Left side. Ooh, that one rattles in and out. Offensive rebound. Law Brown puts up the jump hook from the right side. It won't go. Green the other way for the Trojans. Works it into the corner. And back out front it comes. As the Trojans give it off to Stephen Campbell. Campbell holds back to McCann. Now back out to Green. Green top of the key. As Brody Thompson ready to come in for the Vikings. Green top of the circle to Litzo. Litzo still with the dribble. Has stopped by the free throw line. 7 on the shot clock. Back out to Green. Jamal Green nowhere to go. Kicks it top of the key. 3-2. Here's Artisan. Throws up a prayer and banks it in for 3.
Wow.
The Vikings did a great job defensively, and that was a fadeaway from about 19-20.
Yeah, and I don't
banked it.
I don't think he yelled bank, did he?
Oh my, that's tough. 12-9.
Bad break. Vikes, great possession, great defensive stand that time, but nothing to show for it.
Now here's Epps. Gives it off to Williams. Back into the corner to Connor. He'll try another one. High arching shot off the rim. Just a little short. And the rebound is pulled down by the Trojans. And here they come. Tony Artisan with that rebound. Into the corner to Campbell. Campbell, good spin move. Tried to get it back. Lost it. Trojans maintain possession in the corner. Litzo, free throw line. Left side. 14-footer. No good. Good block out and rebound by Epps. Epps had 6 rebounds. The point guard in the first game. Epps off to Brown. They work it to the right side. Michael Connor. Connor with a left-handed dribble around the screen by Brown. Finds Jim Thomas, the left-hander from St. Louis. Shot won't go from the left side. It's still 12-9. 11:26 to go in the half. Now Jamal Green will start to slow it down a little bit for the Trojans. Gives it off to Litzo, who in turn hands to McCann. They run a little weave out front. Litzo fakes the shot, brings it top of the key. Left hand drives down the lane, missed the shot. Good defense by Brown. Rebound Christian Williams. Timeout called by Valley. 12-9, 11:05 to go.
Christian Williams, a big 6'7" freshman out of Hannibal. And I tell you what, he knows his way around under that basket, doesn't he? He just kind of cleared out the middle of the lane that time, and he could have let that rebound hit the floor. There was nobody close.
Well, we get some time here. We'll talk about some of the teams. The Missouri Valley Lady Vikings volleyball team saw their season come to an end Saturday evening. They lost in the first round, the Heart of America Conference postseason tournament, 3-1 to Evangel. They had the lead in the fourth, but lost that, and they lose at 3-1. But I tell you what, it was a heck of a season. At one time, they were 19-12. At one time, they won 10 in a row. And the 19-12 record, the most wins in a season for the women's volleyball program in 16 years at Valley. So congratulations to the Missouri Valley College women's team. They did a heck of a job.
And they got hot at the right time, near the end of the season, and really put that nice run together down the stretch.
Now out here's Stander, Kevin Stander. We see Kevin come in for the first time. And Stander will give it off to Brody Thompson. Off to Thomas. Jim Thomas 3-second call, I think, on Lawrence Brown. He got caught in that lane, nowhere to go.
Well, the Vikings pretty well dominated play so far, but Hannibal LaGrange hanging around, only down by 3. So Vikings need to keep the defense up. 12-9 here with 10:42 left.
Here's Jamal Green, works it in against Brody Thompson. Thompson, good defense. Campbell has it out front. Now they work at baseline, try to give it back out to Litzo. He's open to the top of the key, and he hits a 3. Jurgon Litzo, and that's the 3rd triple for the Trojans, who all of a sudden have tied this game at 12.
Yeah, good ball movement that time, and Litzo, the open look, made the most out of it.
Williams, top of the key, gives it off to Stander. We know what kind of an outside shooter he can be. Thomas now tries to get it underneath to Lawrence Brown, and stepping around and picking that off for the Trojans was Tony Artisan. Artisan to Green. Back top of the circle it goes to Campbell. Back to Green. Green working on that right side against Brody Thompson. Leaves it baseline. Short jumper off the glass by Artisan, and from an 8-1 deficit, Hannibal leads at 14-12.
And give Jamal Green credit on that. He penetrated and found Artisan wide open. He created that play, and Hannibal their first lead.
Now underneath to Williams. Good spin move with the left hand, and Christian Williams scores. He was on the right side, but he spun toward the middle, used the left hand, little jump hook, tied at 14.
Nice to see the big man use that other hand.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing under there. Looks like he's worked at that. Now here's Litzo, double teamed on the baseline. Back out. Artisan shot off the front of the rim. Rebound Jim Thomas. 1-on-3, so Thomas will slow it down as he brings it up the right side. Back out to Williams. Williams to Stander. Stander, bounce pass underneath. Law Brown leans in, puts it in, can't score. Rebounds his own miss. Missed that one off the left side from about 3 feet. And the rebound is pulled down by Litzo.
Good job by Lawrence, but we said this last year, he's got to hit that shot inside.
Work hard to get open, and you're 3 foot from the basket. You've got to hit it. Now a bad pass taken away by Jim Thomas, and that's going to be an intentional foul. Thomas would have had the breakaway, and Stephen Campbell just grabbed him, so that's his first foul, 3rd team foul, but that is an intentional foul, and much to the chagrin of Jason Durst, he didn't think so, but that's going to be the call. So Thomas will shoot 2, and the Vikes will get the ball. Diotta will come back in, and also Pope.
Yeah, Jim Thomas, last year, a very good free throw shooter. His first trip to the line. Let's see if he can knock a couple down and give the Vikes the lead once again.
First of 2 for the left-hander is good. Vikings are 3 for 3 from the line. He had 5 points in the season opener. Vikes up 15-14. Next one on the way. Good. Jim got them both. 16-14, 8:42 to go.
Now Vikes get that ball back, a chance to make this either a 4 or a 5-point possession.
That would be nice. Thomas hit both free throws. Viking new uniforms, MVC across the chest. Purple numerals, white. Here's Brody Thompson into Stander. He fires from the elbow, missed it. Rebound comes down to Diotta. Back to the baseline. Thomas will hit, and nice 4-point possession by Jim Thomas.
Yeah, he did it all by himself, didn't he? Good rebound by Nick Diotta that time to keep the possession alive.
So it is 18-14. Here come the Trojans. Jay Jones in the ball game now. And now a bad pass is thrown into the backcourt, and that'll be an over and back as Campbell trying to throw the ball, I think, across court to Litzo when he threw it in the backcourt.
Well, both teams using a lot of people. I bet we've seen 20, 21 players on the court so far. A lot of numbers to memorize, names to memorize here in the early going.
And here comes Willie Bird and Abraham Urinyukono back in.
Muel back in also.
Well, back into the game. So getting the starters back in. Jason Durst. Thomas inbounds to Pope. Pope top of the key to Stander. Stander swings it around to Thomas out front. Good crowd here tonight for this Tuesday night game. Off to Stander. Stander round to Thomas. Thomas round the screen, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Diotta. That's his first.
Yeah, sometimes you're moving or sometimes you stick that knee out. A lot of things can happen on a screen that gives that offensive player some extra space.
So here's Muel way out high. One dribble goes to Oriñakono one dribble. He stops at about 25 feet from the basket. Now Pope pokes it away, and he tries to track it down in front of the Hannibal bench, and the ball just goes out of bounds. It'll still belong to the Trojans.
Yeah, good hustle that time by James Pope. Swatted it away and almost got to it, but not quite enough room on that sideline. The Vikings, once again, playing good defense with a 4-point lead, 7.5 minutes to go in the half.
Glad to have you with us. Stretch Internet, also livestream.com for tonight's ball game. We hope to have most of the home games. We will have them all on Stretch, and most of them, maybe a few during the Christmas break, won't be on live stream, but most of them will be on the video stream as well. Here's the lob underneath. Stander goes for it, didn't get it, and that left him well open. Stander goes about, 5'10", well 6'4". Stander went for it, couldn't come up with it, and then an easy layup, and now the Vikings turn it over on the other end.
Well, Muel averaging over 21 points a game. That's his first bucket of the game.
18-16, 17-14, or 7-14 to go first half.
David Smith checks back in for the Vikings. Jim Thomas will take a seat. So it's Pope, Thomas, Connor, Diatta, and Epps on the floor for the Vikes right now.
With the basketball is Jay Jones, a 5'9" freshman. The Trojans, both these teams looking for the first win of the year. Muel, top of the circle, gives it off there to McCann. McCann left side, free throw line extended. And gives it back top of the circle. They try to work it underneath, poked away by Diatta. And here come the Vikings. David Smith in the corner, underneath the Pope. Nice pass, Pope missed the left. Oh, man, and Diatta missed. Pope takes it back up from 10. He banks this one. You missed two easy ones, and he hits a tough running bank shot from the baseline from about 10 feet.
Great job on the offensive glass. Vikes were not going to be denied that possession. Good job.
Now a whistle and a foul as Muel has the ball knocked away by David Smith, and that's the second on David.
Yeah, and he's the only player, I believe, in any kind of trouble for the Vikings.
And Jim Thomas will come in for him.
You got Willie Bird playing for Hannibal Green. Sounds like he ought to be an outfielder for the Toronto Blue Jays or the New York Mets or somebody, you know?
So here come the Trojans. Jay Jones dumps it down low to Oriñakono. He has no shot, gives it back to Willie Bird. Top of the key, left-handed shot. He drains it. That's another triple. His first points, it's 20-19. Trojans back within one.
That's 4 threes by Hannibal Grange here in this first half.
Now Connor loses it. It's picked up by Bird. He'll take it in. Layup good, and the Trojans lead 21-20. 5:58 to go. So the Vikings the last couple of times have turned it over, and that's led to Trojan points. Epps, they knock it away from Epps. Taken away. Here's the big guy, Oriñakono in for the layup. Missed it. Offensive rebound flipped up and in by Alistair McCann, and that's about a 6-0 run by the Trojans, and they take the three-point lead, 23-20. 5:38 to go in this first half. Boy, it happens in a hurry, doesn't it, Joe?
Well, yeah, and what an athletic play by Abraham Oriñakono. He's a 6'6" senior out of Dallas, Texas. He took the ball away from one of the Viking guards out there. Showed great quickness, great agility for a big guy. Took it the length of the floor, missed the shot, but he made the play. And like you said, a nice 6-0 run right now. It's a good timeout by Coach Chad Lance. Let's get the troops settled down with 5.5 minutes to go in the half.
It will be. Hey, we want to remind you, Saturday we will have the season finale for the Viking football team. The second-ranked Missouri Valley College Vikings will take on CMU. I had a chance to talk to their coach today, Jody Ford, and they're ready to come on in. That's a rival, so they're 2-7, but 3 of those losses they've had, 5 of the last 6, by 3, 1 by 7 and 2 by 3 points, including just a 21-14 loss at Baker. So they're going to come in here. They would love to play spoiler.
They could make their season with a win over the Vikings, but you know that ranked number 2 in the nation, that has a nice ring to it, doesn't it, for the Vikings.
And so we'll be on the air at 1 o'clock on KMMO FM, also on Stretch Internet and on livestream.com. So join us for football. That's coming up, and it should be very, very exciting football on Saturday. All right.
I think the last time the Vikings had an undefeated regular season was 2006, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2006 the last time. Here's Epps, gives it out top of the key to Diatta. Diatta works it around to Connor. Connor top of the circle, stops there. Back to Thomas underneath the Pope. Kicks it all the way out to Epps. Epps on the left side around the screen by Pope. Top of the key. Bounce pass in the corner to Connor. Sets the feed. High arching shot is short. Rebound comes down to Arinya-Kono. He'll give it off to Jay Jones. Jones into the forecourt. Off to Mowell. Back right in front of us to McCann. McCann into the corner. Left side to Bird. Now underneath. And a nice running left-handed 5-footer from Ari Mowell. And it's 25-20. A 5-point Hannibal lead.
7 different people have scored for Hannibal LaGrange. Good balance so far.
Top of the key, Jimmy Thomas. And a whistle and an offensive foul. Let's see on whom. Gonna call it on Pope. Illegal screen. And Joe, we saw this last time. There were stretches where the Vikings really would struggle offensively, and we're in one of those right now.
Well, 4:42 left, only 20 points on the board, so Vikes really need to get the offense in gear right here. Need to stop them first, but down by 5, need to come down and get back in rhythm again.
Jay Jones, the 5'9 freshman, dribbles between the legs. He brings it up against that. Vikings in a man-to-man. Swinging to the right side to Mowell. Now Diatta comes out to guard him, but Willie Bird has it. Bird tries to work Thomas. He's got the size on him, takes it all the way down. Nice pass, entry pass on the low block to Arinya-Kono, and he scores. Good assist. Nice play.
Willie Bird made that pass. Nice left-hand penetration. Found Arinya-Kono wide open, and good ball movement that time.
27-20. Hannibal on a little run here. Vikings need a bucket. Epps. And right through the legs, he tried to bounce pass inside to Diatta, went right through the wickets. Now on the way down, Hannibal hustles down court. They go to the baseline and rattle home a 3 on the right side by Alliston McCann. Folks, it's a 10-point Trojan lead, 30-20, and the Vikings have to take another timeout. Wow.
Yeah, good call by Coach Lance to take that timeout. And boy, about a 10, 12-point run, I think,
it has to be
by Hannibal LaGrange right now. They're in rhythm right now, hitting the open man, hitting the outside shot. And I think that's five 3-point baskets for Hannibal LaGrange. 15 of their 30 points have come from a 3-point land.
Well, they're feeling it right now, and you know they're a team that they're looking for their first win as well. So they're playing about as well as they can right now, and both these teams looking for that first win. By the way, the conference season opens on the 29th of November, and we'll be home. Culver Stockton will be here. From what I understand, Jack Schrader has quite a few transfers in Canton and a pretty good, decent ball club this year, so we'll go there. And then on the 1st, we're scheduled to go to Baker. But I say scheduled to go. We're going to have to see what the football team does first. But that'll be the first road game. But those are the two conference games before the first of the year.
Well, and Culver Stockton beat this Hannibal LaGrange team 78-71 in Hannibal this past weekend. So, you know, they're a team that appears to be much improved over last year.
Well, a pretty good run here by the Trojans with 3:43 to go in the half. Here is Brody Thompson. He checked in during that timeout. Diatta, top of the key, hands it off to Epps. Epps back to Thompson. Thompson looking for Law Brown. Now drives inside, tried to hook a pass into Diatta, taken away. And here come the Trojans again as Jones picks up the loose ball. Thompson tried to knock it away from him, and now they're going to call Brody with a foul as he tried to reach in and take it away. Tried to take it away from Willie Bird. Understand at halftime, Graceland leading Missouri Valley in that women's soccer postseason tournament semifinal. 1-0 Graceland over Valley. That is at the half.
I wonder if the sun's shining in Lamoni right now. What do you think?
I bet it's a little chilly on that because that soccer field sits up on that hill with a football field, and it's kind of out there all by itself.
It's windy when it's not windy there.
I'll bet that's a little chilly. Thompson picked up the foul. First free throw is good by Willie Bird.
Bird all of a sudden has 6 points, and they've all been in the last minute and a half.
Ooh, yeah, I'm cold just thinking about standing out there.
I know it. And I guarantee you, we go there in basketball, more than likely there'll be snow on the ground.
Here's the second free throw. It is in and out. Fight for it. Law Brown picks up the rebound. He lost it for a moment, but Lawrence able to grab it. We need some points. 31-20. Vikings trailing this one. And Christian Williams back into the game. So Christian comes in, and he will give it off to Thompson on the baseline. Thompson back out to Epps. Epps working left side, stops, 10-footer. That's short. And the rebound pulled down by Moel. Vikings are ice cold right now.
Good move by Jordan Epps. Just couldn't get the shot to fall.
Well, gives it back to Jay Jones. And boy, you can see the Trojans playing with some confidence right now. Goes off to McCann. McCann. Lost it out of bounds. He gets it in the corner to Jones. And Jay just lost it out of bounds. 5'9" freshman.
Jay Jones, a freshman out of Hannibal. Looking at his face, he looks like a junior high.
I was thinking the
youngster.
same thing.
I mean, they list him at 5'9", and he's thin, got a very young-looking face, but he's got good quickness.
Yeah, I think some would say, "Are you the ball boy?" He's young looking, but quick young man. I was thinking the exact same thing. Here's Brody Thompson, 2:28 to go, 31-20. We've been on that 20-point mark for a long time. Stander hasn't scored yet. Connor, quiet. He has 5 points.
Somebody needs to hit a big shot for the Vikings.
Here's Williams. The big guy from Hannibal starts to move inside, gives it back to Connor. Baseline, leans from 10. There it is. And that's what you expect out of Michael Connor. When you need a shot, he went up and got it from the baseline, 31-22.
And again, Michael creates off the dribble, something he does so well.
Now here he is, the young-looking Jay Jones with a basketball. Off to Willie Bird.
Think he'll get carded when he...
Yeah, I think so, when he's about 35. Baseline. They go to the free throw line to Willie Bird. Back out. Quick shot, no good. Rebound, however, up and in by Yurin Yakoto. Offensive rebound. He just put it back in.
Yurin Yakoto has quite a presence around the bucket. He's a big, strong guy and gets good position in there.
33-22. Connor puts it on the floor. They double team him. Swings it around to Stander. Kevin hasn't pulled the trigger on a shot yet, and now a blocking foul is going to be called on Moel, his first, and that is only the 15th foul, so Vikings will not be shooting quite yet.
Well, nice move by Kevin Stander. That quick first step off the dribble, and he drew that foul on Moel. And we've got to get Kevin going. He's a guy that can score bunches of points very quickly.
Stander will inbound the ball. And he gets it into Brody Thompson. Thompson top of the key around to Connor. Connor starts to drive right side. Cut off there. Gives it back to Williams. His baseline shot. Ooh, just too strong off the heel of the rim. And rebounding is Jay Jones. 1:07 to go in the half. Here comes Jones into the forecourt. Leaves it left side for McCann. Back out front to Willie Bird. Under a minute to go in the half. 33-22 Hannibal.
You know, Williams of the Vikings and Jay Jones both played on that very successful Hannibal High School team last year. The Pirates had a good team.
Here's Moel, free throw line. Stander knocks it away, and travel's going to be called. Good job by Stander.
Moel says, what?
Jason Durst thought, it should have been a foul.
You can't roll all the way down the floor with the ball.
He fell down and rolled over, and, of course, that's going to be a travel call.
Yeah. He's a pretty good athlete, though.
11-point deficit facing the Vikings late here in the first half. Here's Brody Thompson. Leaves it off to Connor. Connor off to Stander. Now he falls down, but he's going to be tripped.
McCann, I think, got the foul.
Yeah, they're going to call. Yeah, McCann, his first, and that's number 7. So it'll be a 1-and-1. Oh, excuse me, that's only the 6th foul. So the Vikings still not at the line. Brody Thompson inbounds to Connor. Vikings can play for one shot as the shot clock is off. But it's 33-22, and the Vikings at one time had an 8-1 lead in this game.
Yep.
Here's Thompson off to Williams, way out high. Williams against Bird, running a little weave. Now Stander drives down the middle, puts it up with the right hand, can't hit. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Hannibal's ball. Still 11.8 seconds remaining.
When Hannibal LaGrange can play for the last shot, 11.8, so they'll bring it down and probably end the half with a shot. Let's see if we get a turnover.
In it comes to Jones. Jones gives it back to Willie Bird. Down to 7. Willie Bird into the forecourt to Jones. Jones way out high. Stander takes it away. 2 seconds. Stander lets it fly. It won't go. And that's the end of the half. Stander hits the deck. No foul was called. But for Hannibal LaGrange, they have to feel pretty good. They were down 8-1. They now lead it 33-22. We'll return with more halftime in just a moment.
whether it was Joe DiMaggio or Jackie Robinson,
Rosa Parks or Sally Ride,
Bogart or Brando.
You're just the right age to do something important that you can be remembered for.
Even if you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, or beyond, you can register to become an organ and tissue donor.
Surprised? You shouldn't be.
Today, people of all ages and even with health conditions can sign up to donate the gift of life.
And it's so important. Every age, every ethnicity is needed.
If we all signed up, imagine the lives we could save.
The families we could help.
So whether you admire John Wayne or James Dean, Robert Redford or Roberto Clemente,
Elvis Presley or Ella Fitzgerald, do something important that could make a real difference and change lives.
get the facts today and register to become an organ donor.
Find out how at organdonor.gov or call 1-866-99-DONATE.
A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
A few years ago, I noticed my vision getting blurry, and things I do every day, like reading and driving, were becoming more difficult. I thought it was part of getting older, but I was wrong. I have a disease called age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. It's the leading cause of blindness in people 55 and older. The good news is there are treatments that can reduce vision loss from AMD. Plus, there are things you can do now to lower your risk of getting it in the first place. The Foundation Fighting Blindness provides information about preventing and managing AMD. Call the Foundation today at 800-585-0516 for a free AMD packet and take the first step toward protecting your vision. I'm thankful I found out about my AMD early enough to still be able to drive and see the faces of my loved ones. Call 800-585-0516 and get your free AMD packet. You'll be glad you did.
Well, we are back, and let's take a look at the scoring, first of all, of this first half. We'll get the rest of the stats for you in just a moment. But, Joe, as far as that scoring, Hannibal LaGrange, 8 different players have put points on the board tonight.
Well, listen to this balance. Willie Bird leads the way with 6, 5 each for Alistair McCann and Preston Steinhoff, along with Tony Artisan. All 3 of those guys had 5 points, 4 points each for Abraham Aranyankono and Ari Muel, and then 1 free throw from Jamal Green. So, boy, very, very good balance. And I forgot 1 3-pointer from Jurgen Litzo. So, good, 8 guys, and you look at it, 4, 5, 5, 6, 4, 3, 5. Great balance scoring.
Well, for the Vikings, Michael Connor has 7 unofficially. James Pope has 6. Then you go all the way down to Jim Thomas with 4, Jordan Epps with 3, and Christian Williams with 2. But David Smith not considered a scorer, but Kevin Stander is. Kevin hadn't scored in the ball game yet either. And as you look inside, getting no points from Deotta or Lawrence Brown either. And Lawrence has had a couple of chances to put it in from close to the basket.
Yeah, big guy's doing a good job in there. They're getting possession, they're getting rebounds, they're posting up strong. But when they get the ball down in that paint, especially 2 or 3 feet from the bucket, they got to knock that little soft shot down.
All right, we'll take a look at some of the other statistics. Of course, as I mentioned the last time the Vikings played against Hastings College, Coach Lance said that one of the big problems was rebounding. So we'll see if the Vikings, we get the stats here on the rebounds. That's pretty close, 17-16 on total rebounds, with a 1 rebound edge for Hannibal LaGrange.
Well, and you look at the shooting percentages, that's the name of the game, right? That's the story right now. Both teams took 26 shots that first half. Hannibal LaGrange hit 13 out of their 26 for 50%. The Vikings only 8 out of 26 for 30.8%. Wow. So that shooting percentage really jumps out at you. And from the 3-point line, it looks like that Hannibal LaGrange shooting 55.6% from 3-point land. They're 5 out of 9 from beyond the arc. That's pretty good 3-point shooting.
Real good shooting. Largest lead, Hannibal by 11. And that's where they lead right now. Valley did have a 7-point lead, remember. It was 8-1 at one time. We've had two ties in this ball game as well, but 33-22. I think the Vikings will have a run in them, but got to get more of a consistent offense going.
Well, and I think one thing, Hannibal LaGrange, they put on a clinic on half-court offensive basketball the last few minutes of the half. Did a great job of penetrating, then dishing the ball out to the open man. I think the Vikes have to kind of cut that penetration off the dribble, not let that guard penetrate into the lane. And like you said, Vikings need to get into the rhythm. We missed some easy shots. Got to keep moving the ball. And, you know, a couple of guys who need to step up, hit a couple jump shots, and I think things will be okay.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we mentioned football a little bit. We're going to talk more about the big game coming up Saturday when we return in just a moment.
I noticed my vision getting blurry, and things I do every day, like reading and driving, were becoming more difficult. I thought it was part of getting older, but I was wrong. I have a disease called age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. It's the leading cause of blindness in people 55 and older. The good news is there are treatments that can reduce vision loss from AMD. Plus, there are things you can do now to lower your risk of getting it in the first place. The Foundation Fighting Blindness provides information about preventing and managing AMD. Call the Foundation today at 800-585-0516 for a free AMD packet and take the first step toward protecting your vision. I'm thankful I found out about my AMD early enough to still be able to drive and see the faces of my loved ones. Call 800-585-0516 and get your free AMD packet. You'll be glad you did.
Are you thinking about getting your GED diploma? Well, here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we've got a number of pep talks that can motivate you.
Sometimes things don't always turn out the way you want them to.
You know that feeling? People look at you and don't believe in you.
You want some gentle encouragement.
Then you're on your way to your GED diploma and a better life.
But I know you're probably just a little bit nervous.
You can find it in yourself to take that first step. You can improve your future. You can do this. I know you can.
You need to start pushing yourself.
Now get your game face on and take the first step towards a better life. Hurry up. Don't make me repeat myself.
Whatever level of motivation you need to get your GED diploma, we've got a pep talk that's right for you. Call 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or visit yourged.org for your pep talk and find free GED classes in your area. GED is a registered trademark of the American Council on Education, brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
We are back to Grover C. Redford Gymnasium, 33-22. And let's talk football a little bit. Hannibal Grange on top here. But Missouri Valley College football team moved up one spot to number 2 this week. It's the highest ranking the MVC football program has ever achieved in NAIA football coaches top 25. Marion lost. The Vikings 35-21 win over Evangel to move to 9-0, 8-0 in the Heart of America Conference. But boy, what a tribute to Paul Troth, his coaching staff, and these young men. Number 2 in the country. That's saying a whole lot.
Well, you're absolutely right, Ken. You know, and I think the thing that really impresses me about the Vikings season to date, they beat Mid-America, Evangel, and Baker. The 3 teams behind them in the standings, they beat all 3 of those teams by at least 2 touchdowns on the road.
Right.
I mean, that's amazing.
That was amazing. And that game on Saturday, coming from 14 points down, MVC's only one of 3 remaining undefeated teams. Number 1, Georgetown, Kentucky. Number 3, Morningside, Iowa. Now, 4 other Hack schools are ranked. Number 11, Mid-America Nazarene. Number 12, Baker. Number 19, Evangel. Number 25, Benedictine. So the Vikings are in. Vikes host Central Methodist. We'll be on the air, KMMO FM, at 1 o'clock on Saturday. Also on Stretch Internet and Livestream.com. But a win over the Eagles would give Valley the outright. Last year we tied, even though we beat Mid-America Nazarene. There was a tie for the conference. Boy, you win, you've got it 2 years in a row. And even with the win on Saturday against Evangel, you have at least a tie. That is the 12th. This is the 12th year the Vikings have won or tied for a conference championship in the Heart of America. That's saying something.
Oh, that's good. And, of course, the Vikings, the all-time leader in wins in the NAIA, and they just keep adding to that total. But, you know, it's been a great season. It's been a fun season. I guess one big question right now is how many teams out of the Heart of America will make the playoffs. I'd say, now, Mid-America's got a tough test. They've got to play Evangel on Saturday. But the Vikings should be in right now. Yeah. Mid-America, if they win, they'll be in. They should probably get a pretty good draw in the first round, too. And then you got Baker and Evangel, 2 teams that I think are very worthy of playoff consideration. But Evangel really needs a win to be considered. Baker, if they win, they could be the 3rd team out of the conference.
And I don't know who Baker plays, but I think they could get in.
Baker, I think, plays maybe Graceland. Okay. I'm not sure. I saw that. It's Baker, it might be Grace. I know Benedictine plays Culver. And I'm not 100% sure. But it's one of the teams in the lower half of the. But Graceland, I think, 4-4 in conference play right now. Well, it's a good year for them.
Yeah. And Evangel is at Mid-America Nazarene. I don't know how much the Vikings took out of that Evangel ball club. They may have taken something out of them, but anyway, it'll be Evangel and Mid-America Nazarene. If Mid-America wins, they'll make it. Evangel, certainly number 19, they have to have a win to get in. And Baker will be right on that bubble somewhere along the line. But I would think the Heart would get at least 2, maybe 3 teams.
I'll tell you what, Evangel with that offense, with all those weapons they have, I would not want to play them in the playoffs. They're a team, they get hot and get rolling, that running and passing game, both going at the same time. They could beat anybody.
But, what amazed me, I was telling you this before the game, as good as Brimhall was, once our defense started putting some pressure on him, he only completed 1 pass in the second half.
You told me that tonight. I can't believe that. I mean, he's a good passer, a good throw. But the Vikings, their defensive backs did a good job all day long because we really didn't have much pressure on him in the early going. He had quite a bit of time, but we turned up the pressure, turned up the heat in the second half, and Vikes really put a lot on him. So I could see they did a very good job. And really, he had to throw a lot quicker than he wanted to for most of that second half.
And the only pass that he completed was that, third down and about third 20-some yard pass was the only one he completed. But I was talking to the coach, talking to Jody Ford today, the head coach at CMU, and he's been watching some film. And he said, as we think, he said very impressed with our cornerbacks. He said, I don't care who you're going to play. When you have Tyler Davis and LeQuentin Black back there, you have 2 defensive weapons. And I would agree with that. Probably the 2 best cornerbacks, at least as a pair in NAI football.
Well, I think you could put those guys in one-on-one coverage with just about any wide receiver. They're going to get beat every now and then, but they're going to win most of the battles. And we talk, LeQuentin Black has really come into his own this year, done a great job. But Tyler Davis has been a go-to guy for the Vikings for the last 3 years, and he made that big interception. Evangel had the momentum. They just tied the game at 21-all. They were driving. I think they were in our territory. Tyler picks off that pass, and then 3 plays later, we score the go-ahead touchdown and never look back.
Huge play. We're going to take our final break. When we come back, Joe's going to call the second half.
This is the sound of a brand new outdoor grill being hurled off a 20-story building. Now a stylish glass coffee table. An electric guitar. These are the things you could enjoy, all cast into oblivion. Because when you throw away money on wasted electricity, you throw away everything you could have bought with it. Visit EnergySavers.gov and get tips on how to save energy and money. Then do things like switch to Energy Star light bulbs or Energy Star appliances, and you could save hundreds of dollars a year. So this doesn't happen to the recliner you've had your eye on, or this to the treadmill on your wish list, or this to the shiny new bike your kid's been asking for. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
In this world, to get ahead, you've got to be connected. And getting connected to the internet is essential to improving your future. Without it, you're missing vital opportunities for a better life.
Broadband helps me access my son's report cards and provides him with easy access to information. I want him to graduate and make something of himself. Broadband gives him the tools to learn more and keeps me in the know.
Getting connected to the internet means a better tomorrow for our children. It could mean finding a job that lets you provide for your family. It could even have a profound impact on your health care.
I'm a diabetic, so I just learned how to keep in contact with my doctor on the internet.
The National Urban League wants you to get connected. Call 1-866-765-9118 or visit changeyourtomorrow.org. Connect today. Change your tomorrow. This public service announcement made possible through funding from the America Recovery and Reinvestment Act, One Economy, and the BBOC.
We're just about ready for the second half to get underway. I'm Ken Quayama, Joe all alongside. And Joe, 33-22. Hopefully you can get a little more offense going here, and I could generate in that first half.
Yeah, and the Vikes got off to a great start. I think they hit their first 2 shots. Jordan Epps knocked down that 3, and then the next time down the floor, James Pope knocked down a baseline jumper and 5 points just like that. But then Hannibal LaGrange hung around, and then, boy, at the end of the half, they had a great run to build this 11-point lead. So Vikings need to come out. I'm sure Coach Chad Lance made some adjustments at halftime, and let's see if we can come out and get things going early on here.
Looks like it'll be Moel, Urinya Kono, Steinhoff, Bird, and Green, the starting five for the Trojans. Vikings still huddle around Chad Lance.
And I look at this Hannibal LaGrange team. It's hard to tell who their best 5 players are. They had 8 guys that scored, and good balanced scoring, as we said, 4-5, 5-6, 4-3, 5. So a lot of guys contributed. So Vikes will get the ball to start the second half. It looks like it'll be David Smith, James Pope, Diotta, Lionel Diotta, Jordan Epps, and Michael Connor on the floor for the Vikes as they get it out to Epps. We're underway here in the second half. Epps guarded out there by Steinhoff. Gets it head of the key to Connor. Connor skips it on the left wing. David Smith, the lefty, hands over to Epps. Epps hit the 3 to start the ball game. He's hounded out there now by Steinhoff. Comes around a screen, gets it down on the baseline to Diotta. Diotta tries to drive on Urinya Kono. Now across court to Epps. Down to 13 on the shot clock as Epps backs it out between the 2 circles. Right wing, Smitty. Down to 7. Now they try to get it down low to James Pope, and the old pick and roll play just led James a little bit too much out of bounds. Ball back to Hannibal LaGrange.
Well, that's the way you want to start the second half of the first possession, by throwing the ball away. But now the Vikes putting some pressure on that backcourt.
Yeah, Vikes, first time we've seen that today is Michael Connor picks up Jamel Green in the backcourt. Now Willie Bird with the left-hand dribble. Bird gets it across to Urinya Kono, almost walk with it. Now head to Moel. Almost taken away by David Smith. Good D that time is David Smith right in Moel's lap, right in front of the Hannibal LaGrange bench. It'll be Hannibal LaGrange's ball with 23 on the shot clock.
As I said earlier, there's no problem. The Vikings will play defense, but got to really get the pressure up here now.
Green guarded by Connor out near the midcourt circle. Left-hand dribble, skips it right side to Urinya Kono. Now backdoor cut. Oh, nice move by Moel, and that was good communication there as Moel goes backdoor, gets the layup, give him 6 points on a 21-point average. The Hannibal LaGrange lead is 13.
Yeah, that was really a nice play. That was good communication. As you said, great communication there.
Left wing now to Epps. Epps comes around a screen. Now gives it deep on the left wing to Diotta. Diotta head of the key, back to Epps. Epps out of Republic, right wing to David Smith. Smith, one left-hand dribble, back to Connor. Michael brings it between the circles, down to 7 on the shot clock. Mike's got to get going here. Connor off the dribble, throws up the J from the free throw line, missed it. Urinya Kono there with the rebound, hands it to Steinhoff. Here come the Hannibal LaGrange Trojans as Kevin Stander gets set to check in for the Vikings. Jamal Green with the left-hand dribble. Green out of New Orleans, Louisiana. Now Urinya Kono out of Dallas, Texas, almost loses the handle, gives it back to Moel. Down in the corner now to Green. Green guarded there by Connor. Now they skip it on the left wing to Moel. Moel drives around Epps, goes to the baseline, almost walked. No call. Now head of the key. Back to Willie Bird. The left-hander loses the handle, goes out to midcourt. Down to 1. That's a shot clock violation. So nice defense by the Vikings that time, Ken.
And I like the fact that Jason Durst is complaining he wanted a foul, but, he picked the ball up with 2 seconds on the shot clock at midcourt turn, and that's one of those calls you just don't bail somebody out because he was just going to throw it from half court, and official said, no, we're not going to call that.
Yeah, I didn't see much contact at all in that. So good defensive possession by the Vikings, down by 13, 17:49 to go here in the game. So Vikes need a bucket. Let's get things going on the offensive end. Now nice entry pass to Pope. Pope back to Epps beyond the key, and he knocks down the 3 as Jordan Epps knocks down his second tray of the game. He's got 6. We got a 10-point game.
Young man's from Nix. I've heard a lot about him, and I haven't been disappointed in what I've seen so far tonight.
Now right wing, it comes to Green. Green head of the key to Urinya Kono. Now hands back to Moel. Moel averaging 21 a game. Now back to Willie Bird, the left-hander. Bird guarded by Pope. Head of the key, Green. Down 13 on the shot clock. Now nice play by Lawrence Brown, who's checked into the game. Lawrence reaches around Urinya Kono. Didn't get any contact, but knocks that ball out of bounds. So again, the Vikings playing good D here in the second half to start the half.
We're about 3 minutes into the second half, still in double digits, but you can't get it all back at once. Just keep playing good defense and chip away.
35-25, Hannibal LaGrange on the road. The Trojans 0-2. Vikes lost their opener to Hastings here on Friday night. So both teams looking for that first win. Now Green drives inside. Nice pass to Bird, and another shot clock violation. I think that was maybe James Pope who got a hand in and swatted that shot attempt away from Willie Bird. The shot clock horn goes off, and that's 2 straight shot clock violations on Hannibal LaGrange.
Yeah, good job as they passed it inside, but you're right. Pope got a hand on top of that ball, and after the block, it was a shot clock violation.
Vikes try to cut it into a single digit, make it a single digit game here. Head of the key, Lawrence Brown. Right wing, Connor. Michael with a left-hand dribble around a screen. Now stop and go dribble. Swings it on the right side. There's a 3 by Epps. Missed it. Rebound that time to Willie Bird for Hannibal LaGrange.
He kind of was moving a little bit, Joe. Didn't go straight up with it, and just a little bit of movement there and rimmed it in and out.
35-25, Hannibal LaGrange on front. Down low now to Arenacono. Goes over the top of Lawrence Brown. Good defense by LB that time. He was right in Arenacono's face, and Vikes get the rebound. Ahead to Stander. Stander ahead of the key to Pope. Pope back beyond the arc to Epps. Now hands to Connor. Connor around a Pope screen, picked up there by Muel. Now baseline drive by Epps, tries to hand it off down there, but Stander comes up with a loose ball.
Good job by Stander. That ball was heading out of bounds.
Now Connor, stop and go dribble by Michael, baseline, up strong, and ball knocked away. And I think that was Willie Bird on the block, and they said Connor the last to touch it. So nice defense that time by Hannibal LaGrange. They get it back with a 10-point lead, 15-57 left in regulation.
And I think that was a good call. It just went off his fingertips, at least from the angle I saw that.
Pressure once again by the Vikings. They've stepped up the defensive intensity here in the second half. Steinhoff guarded by Epps. Good job by Jordan, hounding Preston Steinhoff. Steinhoff now gets it across the timeline, hands it deep on the right wing to Muel, who tries to go around Connor. Michael cuts off the baseline, back to Arenacono. He spins, goes up with the left hand. Was a nice move that time. Shut off on the right side. Abraham Arenacono switches to the left hand and flips it in. He's got 6, the lead back to 12.
He's a big man, too. It's nice footwork and nice soft hands there.
Knows how to play around the bucket. Now Stander, head of the key. Left wing, Epps, guarded there by Steinhoff. Epps comes around a Lawrence Brown screen. Now stops at the free throw line. Nice pass to Brown. The old give and go, and Lawrence is hammered on the shot. So nice give and go pick and roll that time as Epps finds Lawrence Brown breaking to the bucket. It's going to be a 2-shot foul. That'll come up on Ari Muel. That'll be his second foul. First team foul of the half on either team. And Lawrence Brown will be at the line for 2 shots.
Lawrence out of Chicago, 6'8" junior, with a thin build. Let's see if he can knock these down.
Lawrence played a lot of minutes for this Viking team last year. First shot in the air too strong, missed the first one.
That's the first miss for the Vikings from the line. They're 4 out of 5 now.
Lawrence will have one more, looking for his first point on the night. Had several rebounds already.
And you notice I didn't say they were 4 for 4 before that shot. Or
I noticed. I know. We've kind of learned our lesson.
I didn't do the announcer jinx there.
And Lawrence knocks down the second, so LB gets 1 out of 2. The lead is 11 with 15-12 left here in regulation.
So we've played about 5 minutes of the second half, and nothing's changed. Still an 11-point lead.
Again, pressure by the Vikings in the backcourt. Hannibal LaGrange takes their time. Green gets it down to Muel. Muel spins inside. Ball knocked away. Now taken away by Lawrence Brown. Vikes run the floor ahead to Connor. Deep on the left wing. Epps, a 3 in the air. Got it. So Jordan Epps, that's his second 3 of this half, his 3rd of the game. And all of a sudden, it's an 8-point game.
Boy, that's a good-looking shot, too, by that young man.
Vikes again pick up full court, kind of a soft full court press, not really the all-out double-team full court press, but it is bothering Hannibal LaGrange a little bit here. Now Steinhoff gets it back outside to Willie Bird. His long left-hand threes off the left side. Nice rebound, Lawrence Brown for the Vikings. Vikes want to run into the forecourt to Connor. Down low, back outside Epps. Now Connor backs out beyond the arc. His 3 in the air, he got it. So Michael Connor knocks down a 3. Jordan Epps hit a 3 just a minute ago. 6 straight points for the Vikings. And just like that, it's a 5-point game. Nice run by the Vikings.
How'd you ever see that? You had a coach and 2 official and 3 big players stand right in front of you. Still somehow saw Michael Connor hit that shot.
I was parallel on the ground looking between the legs of the chair.
Well, that's how you play. You get some defensive stops, and then you get your shooters. Connor and Epps. Epps with 9 now, and Connor unofficially with 10 points. And all of a sudden, it's 37-32, and the Vikings come roaring right back.
Well, the Vikings down by 12 points here just a couple of minutes ago, and that's on a 7-0 run right here to get back in this thing. We got the one free throw from Lawrence Brown, and then back-to-back threes by Epps and Connor, and that's what you need. You got a good crowd on hand here tonight, and you can see them starting to get into the game, and we need their support.
Yeah, good crowd of students are here tonight. Invite you to come and check out the basketball teams, both the men's and women's teams. And, of course, don't forget the big football game coming up Saturday.
And the Vikings pick up with full court pressure. Stander in the backcourt. He's checked back into the game. Guarding Jamal Green. Green gets it across the timeline, hands it deep on the right wing to Muel. Muel comes around Connor, now backs it. Tries to get inside to Arenya Kono. Stolen by Stander. Vikes want to run ahead to Epps. Epps to the glass, off the glass and in. Jordan Epps doesn't just shoot the three. He takes that one strong. And the Vikings have trimmed this 12-point lead down to 3.
I think we're going to like him, don't you?
Oh, he looks good. He did a good job going up strong that time. Now right wing Muel. Good defense. You just see the Vikings moving those feet a little bit quicker right now on the defensive end. Now down low, double team. Nice double team that time. Muel missed the shot, followed by Arenya Kono, no good. And there's a foul going to come up on Hannibal LaGrange as Muel missed the J. Arenya Kono couldn't get the follow to go. And that's going to be a foul, I think, on Muel, and that's his third, if that is the case. Ari Muel, the 21-point scorer for Hannibal LaGrange, picks up his third foul. So, boy, you feel Big Mo really starting to change here.
That's a 9-0 run, isn't it? We're on. We had the 2 threes and the free throw and then another bucket,
I
think.
We had the free throw, 2 trays, and the Jordan Epps layup. So, 9-0 runs. The Vikes have gone from 12 down to within 3.
Well, let's keep it going here.
Now Epps brings it across. Picked up there by Green. Now changes hands on the dribble. Epps stop and go. Head of the key, Pope. Pope left wing to Connor. Connor double teamed out deep on the left wing. Now puts it on the deck. Backs out between the circles. Head of the key back to Lawrence Brown. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Still 13 seconds on the shot clock. The Vikings, good job running the offense. Connor now stop and go dribble in the lane. Gets it down low to Pope. Basket and one.
Yep.
And was that a play that time by Michael Connor or what? Michael spun about 3 times. Found James Pope sprinting down the lane. Pope, bucket, and one. Vice can tie it with a Pope free throw here.
Well, you called it. That's what Michael Connor can do for this team. Go one-on-one with his quickness, and then he found Pope, unselfishly gave him the ball, and the big guy put it in.
Pope can tie it here. Boy, and the Vikings on a 12-0 run as James Pope completes a three-point play. He's got 9 in the game. We're tied at 37, just under 13 minutes left. I think this press has really got this Viking team moving here in the second half.
And boy,
now Jones breaks the press for Hannibal LaGrange. Right wing, it comes over to Campbell. Campbell left-hand dribble, head of the key to Tony Artison. Now McCann with the left hand, hands it back outside to Jason Jones. Jones guarded by Stander, almost turns it over. Leetsko inside. There's a jumper off the baseline. That's going to be an offensive foul as Stephen Campbell just runs right over one of the Vikings down. I didn't see who that Viking was that drew the charge. You might have got that, Ken.
I think it was Stander. I think it was Kevin.
That's an offensive foul on Campbell, his second. Vikes can take the lead with 12 and a half minutes to go here.
Jason Durst thought it was a foul on Stander, but Campbell was out of control coming down that baseline.
The Vikes have scored the last 12 points of the game. Right wing now Stander. Now down low to Brown. Lawrence drives in, missed the shot. Somebody got a hand on it, knocked it away. And now there's a foul in the backcourt on Jordan Epps as he reaches around. That'll be Jordan's second foul.
Yeah, Leetso blocked that shot by Lawrence.
So that's the first team foul of this half on the Vikings, I believe. So Hannibal LaGrange has 4. So the Trojans will inbound, but it's tied at 37. Jones picked up in the backcourt by Epps. Now stop and go dribble, gets it across midcourt. Left wing, it comes to McCann. McCann all the way across court to Campbell. Thinks about a 3. Instead gets it high post to Artison. Artison picked up by Brown. Now back to Leetsko. Leetso drives inside and runs right over Kevin Stander. And I think this time they're going to call a blocking foul on Kevin. I think they said Kevin's feet, maybe he wasn't completely set that time, and he'll draw the blocking foul.
And the Viking coaches thought it was a left forearm. So that's the toughest call for any official to make, though, that block charge.
It's
really
just
tough.
A very fine line between one or the other. And
you could talk to 100 different officials, and they'd all have a different opinion of what they use to make the call.
And they can't really tell you exactly what they look for. It just kind of that
different.
Feels like a charge or that feels like a block.
It's just a tough call.
Okay, we're tied at 37, 11:53 left here in regulation. Hannibal LaGrange, who had a 12-point lead just minutes ago, will inbound under their own bucket as one of the officials comes over to the sideline to talk to Valley coach Chad Lance.
37-37, 11:53 to go.
Yeah, the officials and Chad having a discussion right in front of us right here.
Official having a little conversation with Chad Lance.
Now they move a little closer to each other, and they're not saying, where are you going to dinner after this, I don't think.
Yeah, that's when the official has to walk away and just call the game.
All right, Hannibal LaGrange will inbound. Now they get it outside, almost taken away. Now it is taken away by Jordan Epps. Nice lead pass to Connor. Yeah. Vikings go on top. Great steal by Jordan Epps. He finds a streaking Michael Connor. Connor's got 12. Vikings lead by 2. We're under 12 minutes left.
And now that is a 14-0 run.
Now Jones, left wing now to McCann. McCann guarded by Connor. Head of the key to Artisan. Right wing, Campbell. Campbell picked up by Stander. Back to Jones. Thinks about a three. Hands back to Alistair McCann, the left-hander. Now nice pass inside to Litzo. And they're going to call him for travels. Jurgen Litzo tried to get his feet set. Couldn't do it. Shuffled him in the lane. And Vikings on that 14-0 lead. 2-point lead. Get the ball back. 14-0 run. 2-point lead. They get the ball back.
Just keep it going.
39-37. Missouri Valley on top. There's a three by Epps. Missed this one. This one came up a little bit short as McCann there to rip down the rebound for Hannibal.
What a good job by Brown. Now a foul.
Jordan Epps just picked up his third foul as he tried to go for the steal. Goes over the back of Jay Jones, and LaGrange will get the ball back down by 2.
Preston Steinhoff, who started both halves, didn't play many minutes, checks in.
Harry Muell also back in the game for Hannibal LaGrange. For the Vikings, it's Stander, Brown, Pope, Epps, and Michael Connor on the floor. Down to the 11-minute mark. It's been a good second half. Vikes down by 12 not that long ago, and they lead it by 2 right now. 14-0 run for Missouri Valley. Now drive down the baseline, and I say somebody put a hand on Litzo as he tried to drive down the baseline. And I tell you, Ken, the Vikings have held Hannibal LaGrange to only 4 points here in this first almost 10 minutes of the second half. So great D by the Vikings.
And coming in, Brody Thompson, also Jim Thomas. As Connor's going to get a rest, Pope checks out.
James Pope picks up that last foul. That'll be his second. That's the 14th foul on the Vikings. There's a three by Muell. Missed it. Nice offensive rebound. Artisan can't get it to go. Gets the glass again. Now taken out of there by Brody Thompson as Thompson gets the steal.
Thompson just slapped it away from him and took it away.
There's a three by Stander. This one's short. Rebound. Out of bounds off Hannibal LaGrange. They couldn't get the handle on it as Preston Steinhoff tried to grab it, couldn't get control, and it goes out of bounds. Vikes will keep it. Now James Pope limping over on the far side. I'm not sure if he turned an ankle or what. Looks like he's in a little bit of pain. Doesn't look too serious, but he'll come out. And checking in for the Vikings, Christian Williams, the 6'7" freshman out of Hannibal. Now the Vikings inbound. I can't see a thing. I got 3 people standing in front of me.
I'll tell you what, it's Stander's way out by the top.
I see him now. Now Stander, left-hand dribble. Down low to Thomas. Thomas reverse dribble. Right wing now in the corner to Thomas. His three in the air. Missed it. Offensive rebound. Lawrence Brown up and in. And that's what the big guy needs to do. He finished that time. Good offensive rebound. Laid it back in softly. There's a steal by the Vikings. And it's out of bounds off Hannibal LaGrange. I think that was Brody Thompson in the backcourt creating havoc with that Hannibal LaGrange on the press. And with 10:04 left, the Vikings have a 41-37 lead, and they've got the ball.
Brody Thompson knocked away from Steinhoff. Steinhoff touched it and went out of bounds.
Now Thompson inbounds, gets it to Thomas. Now head of the key, Brown. Tries to get it down low. Ball knocked away, now taken away by Steinhoff. Here comes Hannibal LaGrange down by 4. McCann, a long three. And I think McCann walked that time. Shuffled his feet to get set. They don't call it. He knocks down a 3. He's got 8. Viking lead trimmed to 1.
But that broke a 16-0 run. A great run by the Vikings.
Yeah.
Let's just take it. Let's just start another one now.
Thompson down low, Brown. Lawrence in strong off the glass. Can't get it to go. Williams fights for the rebound, but it's taken out of there by Muell. Now Hannibal LaGrange can retake the lead with 9:28 to go as they bring the ball across the timeline into the forecourt. head of the key to Arinya Kono. Right wing now to Steinhoff. Goes around Thompson. There's a long three by McCann. This one off the right side, but Arinya Kono, nice offensive rebound underneath the Artisan, and he missed the shot, but he's fouled. That's going to be 2 shots. So Tony Artisan will go to the line for 2.
Well, I don't know why Arinya Kono didn't take that shot. He got
I don't know.
He's only
rebound
about a foot away from the basket, and he passed it.
He was a foot away and handed it to a guy that was 6 inches away.
I guess that's why.
That foul is going to come up on Kevin Stander. That'll be Kevin's second. Is Tony Artisan at the line? First shot's good. Artisan is a junior. He's out of Bossier City. I guess at Bossier, I'm not sure. City, Louisiana. Hits the first free throw. He'll have one more. He can once again give Hannibal LaGrange the lead if he can knock down this second free throw. Hit the first one, second one in the air, got them both. So Tony Artisan knocks down 2. It's a 1-point Hannibal LaGrange lead with 9:11 left here in regulation. Vikes have come from 12 points down, and there's a scramble at midcourt.
Now they're going to call Brody Thompson foul.
Yep. Brody Thompson has scrambled midcourt for the ball. They said Brody Thompson reached around. That'll be his I guess that's his second. I've got him for 2. They've got... that's 2 fouls on Brody.
Well, Joe, we've come all the way back this great run. Don't let it slip away now.
No. Hannibal LaGrange up by 1. They've got the pelota right now. And
there you go.
You try to slip that word in at least once every game if I can. I think that's Spanish for ball. I'm not sure that's even right.
I hope it is.
We're going to assume it is.
It may be something obscene, but we don't know the difference.
Yeah. Right wing to McCann. McCann bounces to Artisan. Artisan looking for Muel, nothing doing there. Now back to McCann, down to 18 on the shot clock. Plenty of time for Hannibal LaGrange. Is Muel hounded out, way out on the left wing by Thomas. Now double teamed out there as Christian Williams comes in to help out. Deep in the corner, Steinhoff with a baseline 3. This one comes up strong. Battle for the loose ball. Lawrence Brown comes out of there with it for the Vikings. Nice rebound by Lawrence as he goes up in the crowd that time to rip that one away. Now there's a foul. That's going to come up on Artisan as he reaches around Brody Thompson outside. So Tony Artisan picks up his first foul. That's foul number 5, I believe, on Hannibal LaGrange this half. So the Vikings will inbound, trailing by 1. Jim Thomas, Jordan Epps back in, Lawrence Brown, James Pope, Kevin Stander on the floor for the Vikings right now. They get it outside to Epps. Epps guarded out there by Steinhoff. Now right wing to Pope. His 3 in the air. This one in and out. And Arinya Kono there to get the rebound for Hannibal LaGrange. James Pope had a good look that time. It dropped down and off. So Hannibal LaGrange hangs on to the 1-point lead. We're down to the 8-minute mark here in the ball game. There's a pass inside to Arinya Kono. He goes up strong. Can't get it to go. Lawrence Brown battles for the rebound. James Pope comes out of there with it. So a nice job on the defensive glass by the Vikings. Is trailing by 1. They'll try to once again retake the lead here at home. Vikes down by 12 only minutes ago. Boy, they fought back. Down within 1. Had a 4-point lead just a minute ago. Now Epps beyond the arc. Gets it back out to Jim Thomas. Thomas, the left-hand dribble. Now backs it out between the circles. Comes around a screen. Now it comes the other way with a right-hand dribble. Down low, tries to get it down to Pope, taken away by Arinya Kono. Now lead pass to Muel, and Muel can't get the handle on the ball as it goes out of bounds on the far end. So both teams a little sloppy. That possession is Lionel Diotta, or Nick Diotta, excuse me. Nick Diotta gets set to check back in for the Vikings, and he does.
Diotta, young man that really going to be a work in progress, but really does have some basketball skills, and we'll see how he comes along as we go along throughout the season.
Diotta out of Senegal, Africa, so it'll be good. It's good to have him in the program here. Now Jim Thomas, left-hand dribble. Almost loses the handle, now gets it back. Guarded out there by Muel. Thomas around a Pope screen with a stop-and-go dribble. Goes baseline, hands back out to Epps. His 3 in the air, this one in and out. Rebound, Diotta can't get the follow to go, and I think Diotta is going to get whistled for a foul as he goes over the back of Arinya Kono. Boy, Diotta got a nice offensive rebound in there. Just left it a little bit short on the follow, and he picks up the foul, and that's going to put That's going to put Arinya Kono on the line as the Vikings over the limit with 6:50 left to go in regulation.
And again, just like Lawrence Brown, great job of getting the rebound, but then you've got to finish and get it over the lip of that rim.
Abraham Arinya Kono, this will be his first trip to the line. He's got 6 points, and he's been a force inside all night long for this Hannibal LaGrange team. Hannibal leads it by 1 as he gets a roll. That was not a good shot. It bounced up in the air a couple times and dropped down in. So Arinya Kono earns the bonus. He'll have one more as Connor checks back in. Stander comes out.
Boy, we're looking at some scoring here. McCann for them has 8. They're balanced scoring all over the place. And Arinya Kono hits both of them.
So Arinya Kono give him 8 points on the night. Hannibal LaGrange lead back up to 3 with 6:46 to go here in regulation. Epps brings it across, gives it head of the key to Connor. Need a couple big shots by Michael here. Now ball stolen away, taken away by Willie Bird. Hannibal LaGrange wants to run. Bird drives and loses the handle, gets it back, throws it up off the glass, can't get it to go. And they're saying that's off Hannibal LaGrange, out of bounds, ball back to the Vikings.
One coach saying there was a foul, the other coach saying double dribble, and the ball went out. It's going to be Viking ball, but Vikes will take a timeout here. Hopefully we'll get you a soccer score as we go along. The men play tomorrow night, and they will play at Baker. They defeated Graceland in 3-2 overtime last Saturday night to get into the second round. Now, if they would win, they still have a possibility of hosting the game on Saturday night, but they have to beat Baker in the second round of the conference tournament. And also, how about this? For the first time in a long time, a couple of Missouri Valley College cross-country runners will go to the national. Junior Matt Leonard out of Higginsville.
Yeah.
And junior Alex Aviles out of California was in 9th place. So they get to make the trip to Vancouver, Washington next week for the finals.
It's just been a pretty good season all the way around for a lot of teams here on the Missouri Valley campus.
For the Lady Vikings, the top runner was senior Rachel Gonzalez. Rachel from Slater, and both of her parents are MVC grads.
I had her mom, Debbie. I taught math. When I taught at Slater, she was in one of my math classes, a very good student. Of course, her father, Bob Gonzalez, the longtime ladies basketball coach there at Slater.
Yep, and so she is... Rachel did a great job, so congratulations to the cross-country team as well. So just a lot of teams this fall did a wonderful job. Wrestling's off to a good start as well.
Well, back here, it's 44-41. Hannibal LaGrange leads at 6:24 to go in regulation. It's Missouri Valley basketball. Vikes, in case you just joined us, we're down by 12 points. Early in the half, they went on a 16-0 run to grab a 4-point lead. Now Hannibal LaGrange up by 3, but it's anybody's game as Michael Connor puts up a jump shot and knocks it down. And Michael give him 14 points on the game. He's true to form as he goes on the dribble, stops on a dime, knocks down that J, and we've got a 1-point game. Just under 6 minutes left.
Well, when you're in a close game, you need your best players to take over, and Michael's one of our best players, so let's see if he can take charge here.
Now down to Arinya Kono. He spins on the baseline, back outside to Muel, around Arinya Kono's screen. That's going to be a block, and that's going to come up on Nick Diotta, I believe, down on the baseline as Diotta got in Muel's path, wasn't set, and that'll be Diotta's third foul.
And that is the 8th team foul, so we're in the 1-1 situation here as Muel goes to the free throw line.
Diotta comes out. Lawrence Brown checks back in, and that's going to put, like you said, Muel on a 21-point average. Vikes have really done a pretty good job on him. He's only had 6 points thus far. Southpaw dribbles a couple times. First shot in the air, got it. So Muel will have one more. The lead's now 2. He'll try to make it a 3-point game with 5:40.
Getting down there with these possessions is going to be very important now.
Will spins it up, missed it. Battle for the loose ball, and James Pope goes to the deck. Nice job by James Pope. Good hustle as James right in the middle of several Hannibal LaGrange players at that time. He wasn't going to give up an inch, but I think on the alternate possession rule, looks like the ball's going to stay with the Trojans.
Has some perspiration on the floor.
So Hannibal LaGrange will inbound in front of their own bench, leading by a couple here with 5:36 left. For the Vikings, it's Pope, Thomas, Lawrence Brown, Michael Connor, and Jordan Epps in the game right now. Steinhoff, right wing to Muel for Hannibal LaGrange. Now they bounce it on the low block to Arinyakono. Back out, right wing to Muel. Around the screen, gets it inside. And boy, an offensive foul as James Pope steps right in the path of Abraham Arinyakono. That was a charge that time, Ken.
Yeah.
Great defensive position that time by James Pope.
Arinyakono drew the charge. Coach Jason Durst didn't think so, but you're right. He initiated the contact, and Pope had perfect position.
Had position and paid the price. He hit the deck hard, but that's the way you square up and take a charge right there. Nice play by James. Vikes needed that one, down by 2 with 5:20 left. They get the ball back. Now Epps brings it across, hands it on the left wing to Connor. Connor guarded by Muel, comes around to Lawrence Brown's screen. Stop and go dribble. Michael on the right wing to Thomas. Now back to Michael. Left wing, they swing it the other way. Now Brown loses a handle on the ball but gets it back. Back to Thomas, the left-hand jumper in the air, and we're tied once again as Jim Thomas knocks down his 6th point of the game. It's 45 all, just under 5 minutes left to go. Vikes need the defensive pressure right here. Left wing, it comes to McCann for Hannibal LaGrange. Head of the key, Arinyakono. Muel, right wing to Willie Bird. Now back to McCann. McCann picked up there by Thomas. Down on the baseline, Steinhoff, left-hand dribble goes inside. They're going to call a block. I think on Lawrence Brown, I believe. I'm not sure, but I think they're going to say Brown didn't really have the baseline covered, so Lawrence will draw the foul. That will be his first. But once again, the Vikings over the limit. That's their 9th team foul, so that's going to put Preston Steinhoff on the line for a 1-and-1. Steinhoff is a sophomore guard out of St. Charles. He's got 5 points in the game all in the first half, and he misses the free throw. So Vikes dodge the bullet there as Epps gets the ball, and Vikings can once again take the lead with 4:28 left. Left wing now to Connor. Connor around a Lawrence Brown screen. Left wing deep to Epps. Epps stop and go dribble around Steinhoff. Pulls up for a baseline jumper, gets the roll and knocks it down. And Jordan Epps got it done off the dribble that time. Went to left side, stopped on a dime and knocked it down, got the shooter's roll.
You're not thinking that's the kind of shot that you work on in the gym by yourself. Going that baseline stop off the dribble, and we got the lead back.
Vikings up by 2. Big bucket by Epps there. Need a stop here. Muel, head of the key. There's a 3 by Steinhoff for the lead. Won't go. And James Pope comes out with a loose ball. Vikes can stretch it to 4. Connor back to Pope on the baseline. Got it. Nice pass. Vikes do a great job running the floor. Michael Connor finds a wide open James Pope. James in the game now has 11 points. Vikings lead it by 4. We got a timeout with 3:38 left in the game.
And, Pope took it away. Pope led the break, but he was smart enough, too, to see that he had Michael Connor in the middle of the floor. Pope's thinking, you know what, he's probably a better ball handler than I am. I'll get it to him, and I'll race down the right side. He did exactly that. Didn't turn it over, got the ball back, got the layup.
I think this might be the best game I've seen James Pope play as a Viking. I know this is only the 2nd game of this year, but he played most of the season last year, and he's really stepped up big here. He's got some big rebounds, took that charge a minute ago. He's really played a good game.
Yes, he has, and the Vikings with the lead now 49-45.
And looking at the Vikings scoring, pretty good balance. You got Michael Connor with 14. You've got Epps with 13. And you've got James Pope. I've got James with 11. So those 3 guys really getting it done on the offensive end.
Well, we're back to a 4-point lead, 3:38 to go. These possessions becoming very important now. Let's see the Vikings go to work on the defensive end here. You've got a Hannibal LaGrange team that's 0-2. Boy, if you could make a little run here again, Joe, you might put a lot of doubt in their mind, and also the time would be in our favor.
And this might be the stat of the game. The Vikings have held Hannibal LaGrange to only 12 points here in the second half, and we're at the 3:38 mark. So for the first, for the first 16 plus minutes, Hannibal LaGrange only 12 points. That's been the story. A really low-scoring game, 49-45, but the Vikes defense has been superb here.
And the Vikes have picked it up a little bit in the second half, scoring 25 points.
Now head of the key to McCann. McCann down low to Arinyakono, almost stolen away. Now Steinhoff gets it back to Arinyakono. Nice pass that time. I don't know how Preston Steinhoff got that pass through, but he finds Abraham Arinyakono. He's in double figures with 10. We got a 2-point game. 3:14 left. Head of the key, Thomas. Thomas over to Epps. Epps down the block to Brown. Lawrence spins inside, throws one up, and he's fouled on the shot. So nice job by the Vikings getting it inside. Lawrence Brown goes in strong. And that foul,
I think.
Yeah, come up and if it is that's on Arinyakono, that's his fourth. Yeah. So he's a big body inside, but he picks up his fourth foul. So nice job by Lawrence Brown taking it to the rack that time.
He didn't foul him with the hand or the arm. He fouled him with the chest. He got a little body bump as Brown tried to move through the length.
I think Lawrence lost the handle on the ball on that, but a body bump, and so he draws the two-shot foul.
See if Law can knock these down.
First shot in the air is perfect. So Lawrence Brown's 2 out of 3 from the line, giving 4 points in the game. He'll have one more to try to extend this lead to 4. His standard checks back in for the Vikings. Jamal Green back in the lineup for Hannibal LaGrange, as is Tony Artisan.
Boy, Arinyakono goes out with 3:07 to go. I know he has 4 fouls, but wonder if he'll just be out a minute. It's a big body not to have that lineup.
I think you need him in there. And Brown knocks down both free throws. Nice job by LB that time. He's 3 out of 4 from the stripe. Vikings back out to a 4-point lead. We're exactly 3 minutes left to play in this one. Now Green swings it left wing to McCann. McCann guarded by Stander. Head of the key, Willie Bird. Bird right wing, deep Green. Now they try to get it in. Do get it into Muel, and he goes in and knocks it off the glass. A nice spin move that time by Ari Muel. He's got 5 points in the second half, 9 on the game. It's a 2-point game. Head of the key, Stander for the Vikings. Under 3 minutes, down to 2.5 now. Left wing Epps. Vikes need to really run some possession here. Now they're going to call an offensive foul, I believe. It's an offensive foul, I think, on Jamal Green, I believe.
Yeah.
Or they call it on the Vikings.
Yeah, called on
the Vikings.
Said Pope was pushing against Jamal Green and got called for the foul. So 51-49, 2:30 to go.
That's the third foul on James Pope. So down by 2, Hannibal LaGrange gets the ball back.
Well, this is pretty interesting. Now, you have two teams looking at that first win of the year, and you have 2:25 to go.
Low-scoring game, 51-49, but both teams have played pretty good defense here tonight. Head of the key down to McCann. Now right wing Muel. Get it on the right wing now to Bird. Bird back to Muel. There's a bump outside. They're going to call a block, I believe, on Michael Connors. He runs into Ari Muel, and that's the 10th team foul on the Vikings. So that'll put Muel at the line for 2 shots, I believe, and 2:13 left. He's got a chance to tie it back up again.
He's 1 out of 2 from the line, 9 points.
Ari Muel, the leading scorer on this team. He's a junior out of Aru, Tahiti.
Maybe the first player we've ever called from Tahiti.
Could be. First shot, he got it.
Yeah, I noticed that. I saw that today from Tahiti.
So Muel will have one more, a chance to tie this thing. It's been tied numerous times. I'm not sure how many, but it's been a seesaw back and forth game, especially here in the second half. Well, puts it up good. The Hannibal LaGrange had an 11-point lead at halftime. Vikings that big 16-0 run, but Muel hits both free throws. We're tied at 51 with 2:05 left in the game. Connor beyond the arc. Stop and go dribble back to Stander. Stander gets it inside to Pope. James back, head of the key to Epps. Epps with a left-hand dribble. Stop and go, almost loses the handle. Now there's going to be a foul on Jamal Green as he reaches around or bumps into Jordan Epps, and that's the 7th team foul on Hannibal, or 8th team foul on Hannibal LaGrange. So that'll put Jordan Epps at the line for a 1-1. He can give the Vikes the lead once again with 1:53 left in the game.
Come on, Jordan. Jordan's had an excellent ball game to this point.
14 points for Epps, and he missed the first shot. So Epps had a chance to put the Vikes back on top again. That one lips out, so ball back to Hannibal LaGrange. 1:44 left, tied at 51. Green guarded by Epps. Head of the key, Muel. Muel left-hand dribble, almost loses it, now gets it back. Back head of the key to McCann. James Pope almost gets a steal. McCann, a long 3. This one misses. Rebound, Kevin Stander. Vikes want to run. Here they come. Stander across the timeline, right in front of the Viking bench. Head of the key, Lawrence Brown. Brown back to Stander. They'll reset the offense as Coach Chad Lance yells out a play with 1:15 left. Tied at 51. Stander around a pick. Nice pass into Lawrence Brown, and Lawrence is fouled. Boy, what a pass that time by Kevin Stander as he whipped it through about 4 Trojans right to Lawrence Brown, streaking down the lane. And Lawrence, who just knocked down 2 a minute ago, will have 2 more here.
And Artisan picked up the foul, and now we're going to see Renicono come back into the ball game. But Lawrence Brown standing at the free throw line. He'll shoot 2.
Lawrence can give the Vikes a lead once again. This one in the air, got it. So, boy, nice job at the free throw line. That's 3 straight free throws under pressure. In fact, 4 straight by Lawrence Brown here in the second half. So, good to see the big guy with that soft touch from the line.
Nice touch. And Renicono comes back in. I'm really surprised, Joe, they took him out at all.
Yeah, there wasn't that much. He had 4 fouls, but only 3 minutes left when he exited. So, Lawrence will have 1 more. He can give the Vikes a 2-point lead. It's in the air. Got it. So Lawrence Brown has really delivered 4 big free throws down the stretch. He's had all of his points in the second half. He's got 7 in the second half. The Vikings lead it by 2, and Jason Durst wants a timeout for Hannibal LaGrange. So 1:03 left in the game. Vikings lead it 53-51.
Wow, I tell you, good job by Lawrence Brown. How about that? The big guy, he struggled some offensively in the low block, but not from that free throw line. Nice touch and stand up there under pressure. Your team looking for the first win of the year, and he just knocks down 5 straight free throws. That's a big job by Lawrence Brown.
And Lawrence, 7 big points all in this second half. Maybe we've got him shooting in too close. Maybe we need to put him out on the free throw line. He's deadly from out there.
You know, I don't know if you wanted to hit that 3-pointer with the game time.
No, I don't think so.
That's probably not the shot that you want. Stretch Internet, livestream.com. We'll be with you Saturday for the football game. Plus, we'll be on KMMO FM. Then next Tuesday night, the women are here. Park College will be in, and we'll be here.
I think we got a doubleheader that night.
Yeah, and then the men are back playing that night as well. So
I think the ladies play Park like at 5:30. Then I'm not sure who the men
play College of the Ozarks at 7:30.
Yeah.
So doubleheader next Tuesday night from the Burns Center, Grover C. Redford Gymnasium.
53-51. The Vikings, who trailed by 11 at halftime, trailed by as many as 12 in the second half, went on a 16-0 run. Now lead by 2 with 1:03 left here in regulation. And Matt Baker, he's helping out now. Matt's been sitting right beside us here. We're going to shake hands right here. Good luck shake, Matt.
Kind of miss him
I know.
not being on the floor.
Good ball player. Okay, head of the key now. Steinhoff hands it on the left wing to McCann. McCann left-hand dribble to Renicono. Renicono beyond the arc to Steinhoff. Around the screen. McCann thinks about a 3, now kicked. I think Kevin Stander got a foot on that ball, so it goes out of bounds with 14 on the shot clock. We're down under a minute, 48.1 seconds left in this one. Hannibal LaGrange has the ball. The Vikings lead by 2. Steinhoff will inbound under his own bucket. They look for Renicono. Good defense by Lawrence Brown to shut off the passing lane that time. Head of the key now to Muel. You got to watch him. He's guarded out there by Pope. Now Steinhoff, right wing deep to Willie Bird. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Renicono spins. They're going to have to hurry up and get a shot. They're not going to get a shot away. Vikes get a shot clock violation. Boy, what a big play with 31 seconds left in the game. The Vikings get a shot clock violation. I don't think anybody on Hannibal LaGrange knew how much time was on that shot clock.
It was 15 seconds when the inbound. No, because the guards just passed the ball back and forth.
Great defensive sequence by the Vikings. Now they've got it back. We're under 25 seconds. Epps, left-hand dribble. Hannibal LaGrange needs to think about fouling here. Inside to Pope. Now the Vikings almost throw it away. And Kevin Stander, Kevin Stander bounced it off of one of the Hannibal LaGrange players, but they said, I think, that it hit Kevin on the way out of bounds. So I believe now they're going to give it to the Vikings. Now they're saying Stander did not touch it last, I believe. I think they're saying that the Hannibal LaGrange player hit it last. So the Vikings will get the ball out of bounds. Now they're changing their mind again.
That's the third change.
They've handed that ball back and forth about 3 times, and as we sort this out, we've got 15 seconds left. It's 53-51 Vikings, but it'll be Hannibal LaGrange ball.
Well, Stander, someone lost it, and he was kind of tiptoeing the sideline, threw it off the leg of one of the Trojans, and then one official said it went back off Stander out of bounds, and another official came in and said no. Then they talked about it, and now they decided it's going to be Hannibal ball.
I kind of like the call they made right before better.
Yeah, I like that one too. And You had both coaches. Jason Durst was way down in front of us. He was listening intently, but it's going to be Hannibal Ball with a chance to tie or take the lead. 15.7 to go.
I don't know. I don't know if the question was the ball out of bounds when it hit Kevin Stanner.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
I'm thinking, was he in bounds or out of bounds when the ball touched him over there? I don't know. It was on the far side. We had about 5 people standing in front of us, so
hard to see. But officials met and they talked about it, and that's what they decided.
What do they call that look around device? Is that a periscope?
Yeah,
we need to get a periscope here so we can look around some of these bodies.
We can't see anything sometimes when everybody stands up, but we do like to be on the floor. You're right.
Oh, it's great down here. It's been a good game, folks. It's 53-51. Vikings lead at 15.7 seconds left in this game. It'll be Hannibal Grange's ball. They'll inbound on the far side in the backcourt, so they've got to go the length of the floor. For the Vikings, it's Epps, Connor, James Pope, Stander, and Lawrence Brown on the floor right now. They get the ball into Steinhoff. Steinhoff, left-hand dribble, now takes it to midcourt and immediately calls a timeout. So took about not much time, less than about 1.3 seconds that time for them to get the ball across midcourt. We're down to 14.4. Timeout on the floor. Vikings a 2-point
lead. Well, they probably will go to Muel or Kono,
yeah.
I would imagine.
I'd be tempted to run a pick and roll with those two guys.
I would too.
think.
Get something inside, hopefully tie the game. And you don't want to do it the last second, probably with about 6 seconds to go. It might give the Vikings a little bit of time left, but they're going to try to tie this game. You don't want to foul. If you are going to foul, make sure they do not get that ball up at the basket.
Well, you don't want to give you don't want a three-point play. No. You don't really want to give them an uncontested three-point shot either. I mean, if they take a shot, they hit a shot and tie it, you go overtime. If they hit a three, they win the ball game. Yeah. So any shot from beyond the arc has to be highly contested, but as you said, don't get the bucket in one.
No, and Well and Urin Yukano are both very strong when they take it to the basket. I think we might have a soccer score to pass along to you. And the season came to an end tonight for the Missouri Valley College women. They lost to Graceland 2-0, that in Lamoni. But a great season for Drew Hawkins' club, and it comes to an end in the semifinals.
Drew did a good job with those ladies.
Great job.
All right, Hannibal LaGrange will inbounds. Like we said, 14 seconds left. They flip it into the backcourt to Steinhoff. Guarded out there by Epps. Epps all over him. Head of the key, Muel. Look out now. Back to McCann. On the left wing, Muel. Muel drives around Pope. A long three is short, and the Vikings win it. Great defense that time as James Pope right in the face of Ari Muel. They didn't get a good shot, and once again, the Viking defense wins this one, 53-51.
No, they didn't get a very good shot at all, did they? I mean, but give the Vikings credit for that. They just pushed Muel out, and he had to take a very tough, contested, about a 17, 18-footer from the left side. They didn't get what Jason Durst wanted there, but give the Vikings defense credit for that.
James Pope was right in his face. I think James played a well of a game tonight and really was right there. Muel had to take a shot he didn't want to take, and big win for the Vikings. That's their first of the year.
Huge win. Then they go off to the state of Nebraska again, where they'll get a rematch with Hastings on Friday night at the Doane Nebraska Classic, and then we'll play the host school Doane on Saturday. So it'll be Friday and Saturday night. And don't forget the Vikings are back here on Tuesday night as part of a doubleheader where they will take on College of the Ozarks. The coach is on his way over, so we'll get a couple comments from him, and then we'll wrap things up on this election night. But a big win for the Vikings tonight, 53-51, and part of that was a 16-0 run in the second half. The Vikings held the Trojans to just 18 second half points, so doing the job there as well. The Vikings go to 1-1 on the season, and Hannibal falls to 0-3. The Vikes win it tonight, 53-51. Unofficial, well, it wasn't unofficial. Michael Connor led the team in scoring. He had 14 points. He had 14, and Jason Epps also with 14 points. So Vikings win it by the score of 53-51 tonight. Again, Michael Connor with his 14 points. Jason Epps also had 14. James Pope looks like he had 11 points, and I tell you, James Pope played really well tonight as well. So Vikings win it. And let's see who else was the scoring for the Trojans tonight. Total points, they were led by Ari Muel. He had 11. As Chad Lance joins you for just a few moments, Coach, it's a tough ball game, but your defense came through at the end.
Well, that's what happened right there. You know, offensively, we made a couple of bad mistakes, had 2 turnovers, and one resulted in a and one, and one was a layup. So it went from a 4-point lead to a 1-point lead, and then from that point, with about 7 minutes left to go in the half, we quit playing defense, and you know, we dug ourselves a hole. And you know, you've been around here, you and Joe, long enough, and when we've been good, we've really been able to sit down and guard people. And you know, offensively, you're not going to shoot the ball well. Somebody's not going to have their good stuff, but you've got to be able to sit down and guard and rebound. And that was my challenge to them at halftime. Was, you know, what more do I need to tell you? Is it's a personal vendetta with them. Is how hard are you willing to play? And only they know that. And we came out in the second half, and when we showed how hard we wanted to play.
Yeah, you held them to 18 points. You went on a 16-0 run in that second half. A lot of it was triggered by that defense, wasn't it?
It really is. You know, your defense has got to be an extension of your offense, and I thought that that really showed tonight. And you know, once you start doing some good things defensively, and you get some stops, and you're getting into a rhythm, everything starts to happen a little bit for you. But HLG is a very good team. You know, they run that Princeton offense, and they kind of lull you to sleep, and they really use the shot clock, so they limit possessions. So you really got to make sure that your possessions are quality.
Michael Connor came up with some big plays. I thought James Pope really played a good game for you tonight, and Jason Epps. Those 3 guys really stood out to me.
Yeah, you know, I challenged little Jordan. You know, Jordan is a great player. I'm a big Jordan Epps fan, and I just told him at halftime, I was like, you're better than that, and you know, you got to step up and you got to be big for us. And you know, he's playing against some good competition, and he's going to be a great ball player. He's going to have 4 great years here for us. But Pope did a great job. He had a good and one. He played some good, solid defense. Mike hit some big shots. So, you know, when you look at our ball club, some guys that are playing some minutes for us, we're young. You know, you look at Christian Williams, he's a freshman. I thought he did a good job for us. Obviously, Jordan Epps is a freshman, and Brody Thompson is a freshman. Kevin Stander is a sophomore. So we've got some young pieces. We just got to keep plugging.
Now, you go back on the road, you go to Doane, you're going to get another shot at Hastings right off the bat Friday night.
Hey, we are. And, you know, we're going to – I know that we're not the team that they seen, and I know that we're not the team that they watched on tape.
All right, Coach, have a safe trip up to Doane, and we'll see you back here next Tuesday night.
All right, thank you.
All right, appreciate it. As Chad Lance joins us, Vikings win this one again 53-51, and we'll go over the scoring very quickly here before we wrap things up on this Tuesday night. Joe, how about, let's see, I mentioned Noel had 11 for the Trojans. Also, Urinya Kono, he had 10 points, and they were the only 2 in double figures. Willie Bird had 6, Steinhoff had 5, Jamal Green had 1, 8 for Alistair McCann, and 7 for Tony Artisan, and 3 for Jurgen Litko. How about the Vikings?
Well, the Vikings, 3 players really stepped up on the offensive end. Michael Connor leads the way with 14. Jordan Epps, and Jordan knocked down 3 trays in the game. He winds up with 13, 11 points for James Pope, and I think James, like we said, I think the best game seen him play. He had 6 rebounds to lead. Well, he had 6, and Lawrence Brown had 7 rebounds. And then Lawrence had 7 points in the game, including that 5 in a row, I believe, from the free throw line there in the second half. So I would say Lawrence Brown and James Pope played the